Hi everyone, my name is Steph, this is the Novelty Corner and welcome back to my channel and welcome to another installment of my Try a Chapter series where I'm trying to read down both my physical and my ebook TBRs. It's been a while, but we are going to bring the Star Jar back and this is going to be interesting because one, I haven't updated it in a little while, so some of the newer books aren't in here, but there's also a bunch of things that I've read and also things that I've got cleared off my TBR, so we could be here a while because we've got to pick and find 10 books. Even though my anthologies are in here, I'm not going to read them for this Try a Chapter, but I will put them aside as things to prioritize in the next couple of months as well. So if they come out, that will be what I'm doing with those. If you have not seen any of my Try a Chapter videos, I basically choose 10 books at random and I read the first chapter, share my thoughts on them, and then usually pick something to read at the end of it. I do miss my Star Jar. Question is, do I just pick 10 stars or do I go one at a time? Let's just go one at a time. All right. Book number 1. Oh, dropped it. All right, The Grotto. Do I still have this? Nope. Okay, take 2. Ah, this is one I have read, North is the Night by Emily Rath. I read that. This is what I mean. We could be here for a little while. But I suppose this is a good way to get a sense of what has and hasn't been read. All right. Truly, Madly, Deeply. Have I read that? I can't remember. I have not, so Truly, Madly, Deeply. That is by Alexandria Bellefleur. And I was really excited when this came out. I just have not picked it up. All right, number 2. If you're wondering why I'm holding a pen, it's because I'm using the pen to flick out the end of the star because I've learnt my lesson, finally. Hockey Hellion. I might have DNF'd this. Yep, that's gone. I think that was Cat Obi. All right, next star. This is a good way of clearing out the stars that I don't need in the in the jar. All right. Okay, this is the Stand for Ukraine anthology. I'm going to put that one to the side. Let's go with this one. Oh, Looking for Group by Alexis Hall. I have DNF'd that. Can't remember if I ever talked about why I DNF'd it. I just didn't like the writing style in it, which I've become more choosy over Alexis Hall's work because there are some stuff that I really like, but some that just have not worked for me as well. Ooh, Code Red. This is N.R. Walker. Did I read that already? I did not. All right, Code Red. I'm excited because she actually just released new covers for all of that series because the next book in the series is coming out. So that'll be fun to try. I believe it is a Rockstar romance. Right, the next one. Layover. Oh, that's Katrina Jackson. I have read that. Excellent. I like that. New Star. I mean, let's face it, this could just be a really bad idea to try and do the Star Jar at this point in the year after not using it for a while. The Heart of Farrowline. Sounds fantasy-ish, which means I could have gotten rid of it. Oh no, I've still got it. The Heart of Farrowline, that's A.L. Rojo. That's good, that's another one. Oh, purple. Reclaim. Do I still have that? I have 2 books called Reclaim, one by Marley Valentine and one by Cassie Leyland. I DNF'd the Marley Valentine one, which I think this is what that was. That might have been another Try a Chapter actually. Guys, how's it September? I can't remember anything at this point in the year. RIP my brain. 32 Refuse to Lose. Nope, that's gone too. All right, next one. A Week to be Wicked. That's Tessa Dare. Did I read that one? Or is that the one that I haven't read? I did read it. That was another Try a Chapter. I do have one more Tessa Dare that I have not read yet. It's one of the oldest ebooks left on my Kindle. And by oldest meaning I acquired it the earliest. Oh, where's the end of this one? Oh, there it is. Angels and Assists. Oh God, is that another anthology? Don't know, it's not even there. And this is why I use a random number generator. Rival Roommate. Ooh. Did I try this one recently? Well, maybe not. This is Milana Spencer. I'm gonna laugh a lot if I open that up on my Kindle and I've read the first chapter of it. It feels like I have. Right, well, let's go with pink one. Twist of Fate. I've read that one. Don't know who that's by because it's a document, not an ebook. All right, let's go with this one that's half open because it'll be easier to open. Promise of Darkness. That's Beck McMaster. I'm pretty sure I DNF'd that. Although it has a lovely new cover. All right, like we're 10 minutes in and filming. Hopefully it'll be shorter when I edit it down, but haven't even got to 5 books yet. Sorry guys. The Elias Network. I think, do I still have that? I do. That's Simon Gervais. Our first non-romance. And this star. Spinning Out. I think I still have this. No, I do not. Why don't I have that? Maybe I DNF'd it. All right. Ancestral Night by Elizabeth Bear. I read. Oh, this is a bright green one. Have we done a bright green one yet? No. Her Vampire Prince, which I've read. Continuing on, Lilac. Born in Fire. Nope, that's gone too. This is probably the most boring content ever to watch, but I'm having fun. The Dark 30, which I've read. What's this one? The Warbler. Yes, Sarah Beth Durst. Warbler, we can add that to the list. All right, 7. But how many 7s will we have? Make your predictions down below. Exes and Goals, which I still have. This is Heather C. Myers. Is that like the first one we've had where we've got one on the first go? I've lost track now. Love Pucks and Other Stories. I think that's Elise Faber. Yep, and I have a feeling that's a collection, but it's a one author collection, so I'll go with it. Number 9. Let's try and mix some of these up. All right. This one. Finn, Jessica Gazella. I have DNF'd that. We'll put it aside for now. This one. Because I just have not been in a Jessica Gazella mood recently. I've got this. I clearly don't at this point. And I clearly don't have it. Okay, that's ironic. All right, still hunting for number 9. Oh, there's a Pucking Around anthology. No, we'll put that with the other anthology. Ooh, blue. Tutoring the Player. Don't have that one either. Of course not. One fell out. I can't find it. I'll find it later. The Grump Whisperer. Oh, okay. I do have this one. It is by Katy James. All right. Lucky last. Famous last words. Sway. Oh, no. DNF that one. Okay. Trying again. Unprincely. I think that's in Finley. I think I've read it. Yeah, right back at the start of the year. Next one. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but I can hear one of my neighbors singing really randomly. Falling for the Player. I haven't read it, but I don't know who it's by. Just opening it up to see. Ah, damn it. Okay, it's an anthology. Ooh. Alright, green. Shadowkin. Can't see it. I've got a lot of books with shadow in the title, some of them that I haven't read, but none of them called Shadowkin. Paint Our Song. There's our 10th book. That one is by Maia Kinley. It only took us this many tries to get there. Alright, so I read the first chapter of Truly, Madly, Deeply by Alexandria Bellefleur, and I like the writing, it's solid. I just cannot stand romance books that open with partners cheating, and I get it, it's a part of books, but why are we giving airtime to that? It is one of my least favourite things, and I hate it when it is the first chapter of the book. Like, it drives me absolutely bonkers. Am I willing to DNF this book because of it? Probably not, because I'm kind of curious to see what happens with it, but still, like, why do we have to open that with that in the first chapter? Because it just, it is my least favourite thing ever. Oh my gosh, I need a moment to reset. We know why we can't trust me with my tri-chapter videos anymore, because I have read the first chapter of Code Red before, so I guess this is going on the to-read list for this vlog. I need to read my notes better. It is a rockstar romance. We start out in the perspective of one of the band managers who specifically manages the frontman Maddox. He's just collected him for the start of a Sellout 23 concert tour, think that's where we are. I do know this book deals with anxiety, depression, like mental health issues. I think they're in the little clip that I filmed. There's the content warning for people. So yes, I will have to finally read this book. So the first chapter of The Heart of Farrowline is from Ridley's perspective. She's a single mum with an 8-month-old, and she's obviously been struggling to get a job. So she's just got a job working for a corporation that is run by shifters, and she's very nervous about her first day. Kind of everything goes awry in the morning and she feels very flustered by the time she arrives to work. So she calls a friend and gets a bit of a pep talk, and that's kind of the first chapter. I enjoyed the writing. So the first chapter is from Caspian's perspective. He is the main character of the series. He's obviously some kind of spy slash assassin, and he is currently waiting in a cafe or bar or restaurant or something like that to find his next target. His cover is that he is a dissatisfied mid-level UN employee. I will probably not continue this one. I just didn't really care in the first chapter. Like on paper, this should be something that I enjoy, because I like suspense stories, I like action stories, and this is probably what that's going to be, but the writing didn't grab me. I think the rival is going to be another DNF, because I honestly, frankly, just don't care. We have our main character. I don't think we've been given his name yet. It could be in the blurb, but I didn't read it. And he's going off to college. He is going off to a very well-known exclusive college that not many people get into, and there was one other person from his high school who also got into the same college, and they're rivals, obviously. And of course, what do you know, they're going to be sharing a room together. And it's just a lot of detail of the first main character moving into the dorm with his parents, wondering who his new roommate is going to be, and then walking in to see it's his rival Taylor. Yeah, don't really care. So that's going to be another no for me. Hello, it is much later in the day now because I had to go out for Father's Day lunch, but I read the first chapter of The Warbler by Beth Durst, which is from the perspective of our main character, Elisa, who goes by lots of different names, and we find out she's just leaving the place where she has currently lived for the last 10 months, and that she's never stayed in a place for longer than 10 months. And she's leaving behind a boyfriend, and she's traveling. She doesn't know where she's headed. She's kind of got a list of destinations, and part of it is she's trying to track down the history of her family, because her family have been cursed and they've constantly moved around. So most of this is her just leaving and getting on a bus and ending up in a town that other people who are traveling to the same place tell her is not a good place to stay because you tend to get stuck there. I'm very intrigued. I haven't quite worked out whether it's a young adult book or an adult book yet, but regardless, I'm intrigued. I read the first chapter of Exes and Goals, and this one is, well, the first chapter we meet Harper, who is our FMC. She's meeting with the team owner of the Newport Beach Seagulls hockey team. They have a female owner, and there's a whole bunch of controversy that happened around the team. The team has not been doing so well. The previous team owner, the current owner's grandfather, was murdered in his office, and this owner is basically hiring Harper, who is a blogger, to be the team blogger and to document their story over the upcoming season. I am partially intrigued by this one, but I'm also not. There were just some things about the writing style where I had to keep rereading a couple of sentences because it didn't click in my head the first time. And if that's going to be the writing style the whole way through, then it's probably a no. We'll see how I feel at the end of this video. So Love, Pucks and Other Stories by Elise Faber begins with a prologue. I'm not reading the first chapter as well because the first chapter continues directly after the prologue. Why do we need a prologue if there is a chapter 1 that literally follows exactly where the prologue finishes. I don't know. Usually if you have a prologue in a contemporary romance, it's some kind of flashback, right? Again, I think I've talked about it before. I have a little bit of a pet peeve of prologues in contemporary romance stories, particularly if it's not being used as a time signifier in terms of something has happened before or is happening in the future before the rest of the story starts. So yeah. No, in this case we're following Billy Rose, who is reflecting on her life and her position in her family. She had a brother who was 2 years older than her who died while she was still in utero, or was quite sick when she was in utero, and then died shortly thereafter. And so she feels like she's always kind of been on the outer with the family because she was born at a time when they were under high stress and they lost a child. There's also something that's obviously happened in the town. This is the 4th book in a series. So the town has had a fire go through it, and she's basically seeing her entire town destroyed post-fire and is very distraught by that. And then she runs into a guy called Joel, who I'm assuming is some kind of hockey player and kind of her nemesis. And that's where the prologue ends. And then chapter 1 literally starts with Joel's perspective and she's in his arms. And I'm like, okay, I don't need to read chapter 1 because I've literally just read chapter 1. It's just been called a prologue. I'm leaning towards no. I'm leaning towards no for this one. Can't really put my finger on why, I just don't feel like it. So The Grump Whisperer is a contemporary romance story. We have Bronwyn, who is our female protagonist. She's the barn manager at a working farm and boarding barn place for horses. And the previous owner has sold to a new owner, but has not transferred information about how to pay the bills and things like that to Bronwyn. And they're in desperate need of people to come, of services for the farm, including reshoeing and doing some flooring and paying for feed and things like that. And so she's told that someone's moved into the farmhouse, so she goes up there to meet the new owner. She finds out that the owner is a woman who's told her brother he can stay at the farm, and they do not have a really good first impression, and I am not interested in reading this one. Wasn't a huge fan of their interactions, so that's a no for me. I should know myself better by now because I have read the first chapter of Paint Our Song before. It's the one about a guy who is coming back to his family's inn and he causes a bad impression with a famous musician who happens to be staying there. It wasn't even that long ago, well, it clearly was a while ago if I can't remember it because I forget the order that I film these things in. So I'm also going to add that to the list of things to read either for this vlog or this month. Those are all the 10 first chapters. I am going to read Code Red, definitely. I'm keeping Truly Madly Deeply, I'm keeping The Warbler, I'm keeping The Heart of Farrowline, and I'm keeping Paint Our Song. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 books are going. The others are all possibilities. I'll be back to update you when I've read something from this list. Probably Code Red, but who knows what it will be at this point in time. Hi everyone. So it's been like days since I finished Code Red, and my grand plans of trying to read another book for this video have not panned out, and they won't. So let's wrap up Code Red by N.R. Walker, which is the first book in her Rockstar Romance series. The entire book is told from Roscoe's perspective. He is one of the managers for a very famous band. They're about to start a 26 show tour, and Roscoe is particularly in charge of sort of the front man, and Maddox is a bit out of sorts. So this book does deal with depression, anxiety, panic attacks on page, and burnout, like massive burnout while on tour. So the whole thing's from Roscoe's perspective as he's basically watching his charge just kind of really get worse through the course of the book. At the start they kind of end up with this kind of bantery, flirting kind of thing going on, and they end up kind of like with a friends with benefits kind of situation, but they can't let anyone know because Roscoe is under contract, etc. As Maddox's depression gets worse and as the tour continues on, and the fans are, you know, very passionate and there's a lot going on, it kind of forces them to really look at the dynamics of their relationship. It forces Maddox to consider what he wants moving forward and whether staying with the band or performing at the moment is what he is capable of doing. Like, we also have the other band members and all that sort of in the background, and you can kind of sort of see where some of their stories are going to go moving forward, which is kind of cool. I enjoyed it. It's N.R. Walker. I haven't read a Rockstar Romance in a while, so it was fun. And I can tick that one off my list, and I will come back to the series at some point. I just don't know when. She currently has the 3rd book about to be released, which, I mean, timing is great, but I will come back to it at some point. So that's another wrap up for this try chapter video, and I will try and catch up on some of the books that I said I was going to read that I did not for this vlog. a little bit later. In the comments, I'd love to know if you've read any of these books or if you're planning on picking any of them up, or feel free to leave a guitar emoji to let me know that you're here. I hope that wherever you are in the world, you're staying safe and healthy, and I will see you in my next video. Bye everyone.